Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video here at Tablemon. We are continuing with our coverage of the top decks, and today's video will feature Arceus Giratina VSTAR. Now, Arceus VSTAR, one of the most successful and powerful VSTAR Pokemon, not necessarily because of its attack, although it is quite good, Trinity Nova, doing 200 damage and allowing you to attach 3 energies to other V Pokemon in any way you like, and also the Star Breath ability. Being able to search for any 2 cards to be able to set up is so powerful. It pretty much makes the deck super consistent, makes sure that you are attacking on turn 2 most of the time, and allows you to search for specific cards that you need, such as double turbo energy at any given time to be able to attack with Arceus on turn 2. And you also get to use or search for specific disruption cards to affect your opponent, such as the combination of Judge plus Path to a Peak on turn 2 to really limit the options that they have and try to deny their setup. Now, we also have Giratina VSTAR with both of its attacks being one of the most powerful VSTAR Pokemon out there. Lost Impact doing 280 damage, which is coincidentally perfect to deal with any and all Pokemon VSTAR that are out there. Of course, V-Guard energy can sometimes get in the way, especially against Lugia, but for the most part, Lost Impact will be taking a knockout on whatever it is attacking. Now, Star Requiem is also a very powerful VSTAR attack, but it's unfortunately not possible to be utilized in this specific deck. Now, we are combining as well a Leafeon VSTAR with its Leaf Guard attack doing 180 damage and reducing damage by 30 from any of your opponent's attacks after you have used it. The VSTAR ability, unless you got like a really good setup with Arceus VSTAR, you're probably not going to be using it, but this card hits Charizard EX for weakness, and that is one of its main roles. We were already playing Grass Energy in this deck, since Giratina VSTAR needs that to attack, so might as well take advantage, bump it up a little bit to make sure that we can reliably attack with Leafeon VSTAR, and we also get the benefit of Leafeon V. Sometimes for this deck, it can be very useful, as you really need Arceus and an energy attached on turn 1 to the Arceus to really do anything with this deck. If you don't accomplish that, you will be in a lot of trouble. And the Greening Cells ability allows you to search your deck for a grass energy and attach it to your Pokemon any way you like. So if you have an extra way to search for a Pokemon alongside your Arceus, you establish the Leafeon and then you guarantee your energy, even if you did whiff it somehow. Yeah, we are playing 14, but there's no guarantee that you will have it every single time. Then we have Bibarel Skwovet for support. We have Radiant Alakazam to mess with our opponent's damage output a little bit. Make sure that we are not overdoing it with the damage in some situations, and that little piece of extra damage that you get can sometimes be useful to knock out Pokemon for Arceus VSTAR and also for Giratina VSTAR in case there was some damage reduction somewhere along the line, or to get to those big HP numbers of the VMAX Pokemon. Now, we have a lot of disruption with 4 Judge, 4 Iono, and 4 Path to a Peak, a bunch of energies, a bunch of consistency with the S-Balls and Ultra Balls, a couple of switching cards, and then the one of Choice Belt, which is not my favorite card to have in the deck. You could possibly take out the Radiant Alakazam as well, pop in a Spiritomb, or take out the Choice Belt, pop in a Spiritomb. There's other tool cards that you could use like Box of Disaster, but overall, this deck has one goal and one goal only: turn to Arceus VSTAR, and then set up your backup attackers and just disrupt your opponent as much as possible. So let's jump into a ladder, see how we do. If you want to support the channel, you can use code Tablemon to get 5% off at Potent Store for your online codes, 10% off for your sealed product at Flipside Gaming, and 10% off on your aluminum accessories at TC Evolutions. Or if you're looking to buy singles or sleeves, you can fill up your cart and close the tab, then click on the affiliate link in the description and check out. That way you can support the channel over at TCG Player, Card Market, and Dragon Shield. ¿Eres de México y necesitas cartas de Pokémon? Busca Hyperbeam Cards en Facebook e Instagram. Y si estás en Tijuana, búscalos en el local C27 en el Centro Comercial Otay. Alright, so we get to go first, which is pretty cool. Always what you want to see with Arceus VSTAR decks. Getting Arceus plus energy is your one goal. And that is exactly what we are going to be able to do now. We don't have the Arceus VSTAR just yet. If we're up against something like Turbo Lost Box, there is a chance that our Arceus VSTAR, or Arceus V rather, goes down. Same against Mew. But we're up against a Charmander deck, or a Charizard deck rather, so we should be pretty safe. Now, part of me definitely wants to bench the Giratina. The other part of me doesn't want to. because if I do get boss orders tier, that could be annoying. If I didn't have a supporter, then I probably wouldn't have done it, but I think this is fine. And then off of the Iono, we are hoping to find an Arceus VSTAR or an Ultra Ball. And then once we do that, we can search for double turbo plus, probably path to the peak. Now, it would be so perfect to go Judge on top of that, but I don't fancy my chances of finding the Arceus VSTAR off of the Judge. So unless I top deck it, I am most certainly going to Iono here. Now, seeing my opponent's current dealings, they might Iono themselves, right? There's the Arceus V, there's a Supra to put back the Charizard EX that they discarded, and it's actually a raw 7 cards from Professor's Research, so not bad. And we see a Pokemon League headquarters, which is not super impactful against us. And alright. I do like a backup Arceus V, and then Arceus VSTAR or Ultra Ball. Pretty please. That's all we need. No. Oh boy. Alright. Well, and on top of that, we actually I mean, we can Trinity Charge. My hand's so bad that I have to Nest Dash, right? There's no reason for me not to Nest Dash here. There's still a chance I get an Arceus VSTAR, not quite. Alrighty then, I will Trinity Charge, but that is a super, super sad situation for me right here. Dang, I whiffed not only the Arceus VSTAR, but also a supporter, which is really sad. And then my opponent just has the raw Rare Candy Pidgeot, which you would imagine is much harder to accomplish than the one Arceus VSTAR. However, they have everything off of the Iono. Alright, I mean, the good thing is that my opponent can't KO any of my current active Pokemon, or any of the Pokemon that I currently have down, rather. But not great. If I'd found any Arceus VSTAR, I would have stopped all these abilities. I would have been able to power up the Leafeon. I'd be in such a good spot. But that is one of the risks that you take when you play Arceus. If you don't get on turn 1 Arceus plus an energy, you're probably behind. What the heck just happened? I have no idea why my opponent conceded. I don't think I was winning that game, but alright. But anyways, you need Arceus plus energy turn 1, and then you need Arceus VSTAR turn 2. You don't get that, everything becomes way more complicated. But alright, on to the next game. Alrighty, so we get to go first. I generally have no clue whatsoever why my opponent did not, or conceded the previous game rather. Alright, precarious situation. We do have Arceus, we do have energy, which is a good thing, but we only have a Judge in order to find the Arceus VSTAR, and as you saw from the last game, that can sometimes be difficult to find. Alright, so we are up against Mew, which is another potential problem, seeing how, and I have no Spiritomb, seeing how they can get a potential turn 1 KO. So what I'm actually going to do is play the preemptive path to a peak. That way, if they counter it, then that means I get to use my VSTAR. If they don't counter it, then they're probably going to have a very underwhelming turn, and they might not be able to knock me out, which is right now what I'm hoping for. I mean, there's always a possibility that they just outright have the counter, for sure, but it won't always happen, right? So a lot of good cards in my opponent's hand. But there we go. The path to a peak definitely stops them. So, I mean, I kinda want to just be patient, maybe. I also kind of want to judge. I think I should judge. I know they didn't have a great start. Their deck is now clogged with battle VIP passes that are not very useful. I have now evolved and I have protection against a possible escape rope potential KO, and that is a very, very nice card to find. All right. So what happens now? See an escape rope. So sadly, I'm probably gonna have to lose my poor Bidoof. Poor little Bidoof. I don't want to risk my Arceus VSTAR going down because then I just immediately lose the game. We do see Analysis Sparkle. We might see a Psychic Leap KO by my opponent. Definitely fair. And I will Iono, which will potentially help them. Oh, never mind. No Psychic Leap KO. It's just going to be an outright Max Miracle KO. All right. I really wish with all my heart that I top deck an energy right here. That is not an energy. All right. I mean, I have to Iono though. Even though I give them a fresh new hand, I also need a fresh new hand. All right. Barely got an energy. No. Jeez. No backup basic Pokemon though. So this is a very, very difficult situation to be in. Because there is a solid chance my opponent now knocks out my Arceus VSTAR. Any Nest Ball, any Ultra Ball, or any other basic Pokemon, I probably would have been fine. There's the Lost Vacuum, so yeah. I would not be surprised if I just outright lose the game right here. So my path to peak ends up coming back to bite me, honestly. But so far, so good. Maybe the last energy's prized. There's a power tablet, so actually they just need one more power tablet. For a Seal Stone will get them there. Our own Iono, our own path to a peak, were our demise. And there's a head slip, so on to the next game. All right, so 2 high quality games so far. Both games showcasing some of the inconsistencies of this deck, certainly. And all right, we see that we're up against Regidrago VSTAR. We also mulligan twice to make sure that we help our opponent get what they need. And since we are going second, they could be playing Arceus Regidrago. And if they get the path to pick and play before us with this hand, it's going to be a little dicey. It is Arceus Regidrago, not just Regidrago. They are going first in the mirror match. And they get the energy, which is, like I said, the bare minimum that they usually want. Now, that path to a peak could actually be useful. As, I mean, I did see that they're playing the league headquarters card. I don't know. I feel like this could potentially delay them and make them whiff. I might end up regretting it. But with this boss's orders, I generally could delay their attack enough to where I regain some sort of advantage. Now, I'm going to split the energies a little more evenly. I don't think I'm going to need Leafeon VSTAR, of course, being the counter attempt to Charizard EX, correct? So big hand for my opponent. Let's see what they do. Immediately counters the stadium. All right, that does mean I get to use my Starburst next turn, which is what I was hoping for. Good enough. Now we do see Giratina in the discard pile. That's currently the attack that they can utilize. We get Iono'd. out of our Arceus VSTAR. So it's been 2 games where we haven't been able to go Starbirth. Finally, in this 3rd game, we will be able to. All right. Ooh, spreads the energy as well. Okay, so not gonna attack us, and then this path to peak should prove to be very, very good, I'd say. Okay, I don't think I'll be needing the Choice Belt, so I think it's that and Iono? I mean, I don't know what's in my opponent's hand right now, so I don't expect to disrupt at all at this point in time. I will go ahead and attach. I could go boss and go after even the Regidrago, maybe? Definitely gonna bench you. Okay, I kind of like boss plus Bibarel as my cards here. And with that boss, ooh, I do play 4 boss, so I price 2 of them. And then the Bibarel for sure for next turn. Okay, and then with this boss, who do I target? That's the question. I definitely think in the long term, knocking out Arceus V could be very impactful to stop my opponent from setting up. However, currently right now we know they don't have Arceus VSTAR. There is another path to peak played, and Kirlia is the one way they can draw and discard things. So, change my mind. I'm just gonna go after the Kirlia. I'm not gonna attach any energies. I should be safe next turn. I could have also grabbed the V card energy. I don't remember if it was available or not, but I definitely could have grabbed that. But yeah, we see the Arceus, so even a Trinity charge is not bad at all for my opponent to just be able to power up. Yeah. Which is probably what we're gonna be seeing here, but no, we see another concession. All right, we get to go first in what seems like it will be another not so great game, and we might be up against Bennett EX. All right, no energy. That top deck is potentially useful, but no energy is very, very sad, as we do play so many. And we are still not able to find any. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I did price 2 of them. And it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. Not much I can do about it. All right. So, raw battle VIP pass for my opponent. I guess at least I got the Arceus down, right? And yeah, this is indeed Bennett EX with Bidoof EX. So, keeping my bench low is going to be super, super crucial right here. What does the attack do? Oh, wow. I could actually be stopped from playing item cards this very same turn. Okay, so they could potentially trap a few things, but everything in my deck can potentially attack, even if it's a coin flip, such as Bibarel. So I feel like we should be able to outright win this game. And there's a heads for my opponent, so very sad situation. Can't play that nest ball that I did top deck. All right, well, I got energy. Definitely not going to bench the Giratina right here. Just going to go ahead and attach and pass. But stellar handoff of the Iono. Didn't have any energy, now I have 4 and nothing else. So yeah, not great. Pokemon League headquarters and Iono. That Iono I do appreciate. So I'm looking to item lock me. Still no Arceus VSTAR, still no follow-up supporter. I have not been able to do the basic thing of like turn to Arceus VSTAR attack, right? Or maybe I did in one of these games, but it's just, it's a roller coaster. PTG Live is a genuine roller coaster, and it's a similar experience to PTGO and my luck, honestly. So, all right. There's another Benetti X. And yeah, 30 damage. Can't play my Ultra Balls. Didn't draw any supporters. Just top deck more. Sure. Alright, one card in hand. To retreat, Spit Up EX. Please, one time, I beg you. Have them whiff. One time. Switch research. There we go. Freaking finally. Alright. 250 HP. So I don't think I'll be needing you. And still discard the other Ultra Ball. That might be better. No. This gets me. Alright, I'll discard the double turbo. That gets me potentially a Bibarel. Well, I guess this gets me Bibarel too. Yeah, it should have been the Ultra Ball. What am I thinking? Alright. We will establish. Honestly, I think it's just another Arceus. I could one-shot, but their damage output is 30. So I think I'll be fine. Alright, so Starbirth. I do want to just outright attack the Bennett, and I don't even have a choice because I don't have Switch. And yeah, I should have kept that double turbo to attach to the Bidoof. I might not even evolve the Bidoof, honestly. It's just more annoying. Nope, not you. I'll just grab the other Arceus VSTAR. Yeah. I don't care about evolving. Like, evolving this Bidoof could actually be a problem for me at any given point if it gets trapped somehow. Alright. So we're just gonna go Trinity Nova. And honestly, I would not be surprised if I see a concession by my opponent sometime soon. We know they don't have a supporter. Their damage output is 30. I have one item card, or one trainer card rather. So Poltergeist is not gonna do too much at this point in time. And if they do, then it's one turn, and then I get free item cards, and I can get rid of a bunch of things. So should be good. Should be a-okay. And this might be another game that ends in turn 2. You know, this might be the tutorial on how to finish games in 2 turns. Whether it's in my favor or not. This does 90 plus 30, so currently 3, which means 180 damage. Completely fine. This also shuts down Spit Ups in case I needed to, which is not something I want to do particularly right now. Attaching the energy there preemptively to make sure that I have the possibility to retreat, combined with my path. If they go boss to try and stall me, I have the path to eliminate the energy, the ability. So I think we're good. Right hand, okay. So the game's not over by any means. I will be benching that other Arceus and powering that up for sure. A third attacker, very important. Okay, that extra card they grabbed. What? Oh, okay. Okay. No way. Oh, okay. I was like, no way they used their ability. I thought for a second they did. But no, they used their VSTAR. Which They must have grabbed a supporter for next turn, correct? They must have. Now, I don't have boss, and they just sent back the Pidgeot, so it actually doesn't really matter. And wire hang for 180. So they're not giving up, yeah? No longer a tutorial on how to win in 2 turns. All right. Gonna go ahead and bench that Arceus, gonna go ahead and play that down. And then I could retreat to prevent my opponent from taking prize cards, but I don't think that's necessary. My goal is not to beat my opponent 6-0 in prizes. My goal is to beat my opponent and getting down to 0 prizes before they get to 0. And I think letting this Arceus V-Star goes down just makes my disruption much better with Judges, with Ionos. And I'd rather keep my other Arceus V-Star healthy because this speed ups is like their big attacker. Their other Pokemon does 30 damage realistically. And I have Judge to reset the damage that they could possibly do with Poltergeist as well. So I think should be good. I think we should be good. All right. Okay. Arceus V-Star. I do like the Judge now. Could go Iono or Judge. I feel like if in case they do manage to get another KO, I should probably conserve the Iono, but also setting up the other Arceus V-Star is very, very key. And like generally notice how if I evolved into Bibarel, that could only cause me trouble. Yeah, I don't need any cards, and having Bibarel is a Pokemon that's begging, generally begging to get trapped. And that is why I am not. Okay, stops me from playing items, so I can't play tool cards. All right. Alrighty. Switch and double turbo. Alrighty. Radiant Alakazam. Man, yeah, it seems like I can't fathom how my opponent wins from here. They would need to generally trap something through the use of Manaphy, but after I knock out this Klefki, Manaphy brings the Pokemon down from the hand, and then I just attack and win. If they go boss, my Bidoof can retreat. Both of my Pokemon attack. So like I said, having Bibarel would only be detrimental to myself, and that's sometimes what you have to start thinking about on how to approach these sort of low-key decks in making sure that you don't set yourself up to be trapped, right? If you overplay cards, if you like do all these little things that could put you in a worse situation, like the only way my Bidoof gets trapped is if, there we go, is if it doesn't get KO'd, right? Which currently it couldn't possibly get trapped because it only had 20 HP left, right? So that's a good thing for your opponent to go down, therefore it's no longer trapped, and then you get to continue with the aggressiveness, right? But yeah, Arctina, powerful deck, can be a little iffy on the consistency sometimes, and it suffers from the Arceus rule, I guess, which I deem, which is you don't get the perfect turn 1 Arceus plus energy, and then the V-Star, you're immediately behind, right? Whereas other decks don't necessarily have such specific requirements to be able to do what they want to do, and that's what, it's still a very powerful deck and card, but it can be a little iffy when you just don't get that, and then you're behind, not because of anything that your opponent has done, just simply because you end up whiffing, and you're maxed out on outs for Arceus V for Arceus, for Nest Ball, for Ultra Ball. You have 14 energy, which is on average higher than what you would need to guarantee 1 energy in your hand for attachment. So yeah, but it can still happen, as we saw in this video. You can still manage to whiff. Still a powerful deck, one of the most successful decks so far in the online tournaments as well, in this new Obsidian Flames metagame. So definitely encourage you to check it out and practice with it. This is also a very small sample size. Sometimes you get a string of games where you're flying, sometimes you get a string of games where you're struggling, and that is the game of Pokemon. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.